happened. In a radially inflow, the inward flow turbine, the diameter of the runner at the inlet is 50 centimeters and the diameter at the outlet is 15 centimeters. The speed of the machine is 1500 rpm. The fluid at a velocity of 35 meters per second enters the runner at 20 degrees to the tangent and leaves the runner without any whirl component. The flow component of the fluid velocity remains constant in the runner. Calculate the blade angles at the inlet and outlet, the specific work and the degree of reaction. Okay. Now let us write what is given in the numerator. So I need to find the solution for this. So what is given? So the diameter at the inlet is given, which is 50 centimeters means it is 0.5 meters. The diameter of the exit is D2, which is 15 centimeters means it is 0.15 meters. Okay. Then the speed with which the turbine is rotating is 1500 rpm. Then the velocity, the absolute velocity is at the inlet is 35 meters per second, and the flow angle at the inlet is 20 degrees. And the exit velocity, there is no whirl component at the exit. Without any whirl component, means the V to do is equal to 0. And there are no losses. The flow component remains constant. That is, Vf1 is equal to Vf2 is equal to your Vf. That's the meaning. So they are not given any mass flow rate and all. Let's assume it is unit mass flow rate, that is 1 kg per second. That's the assumption what we are doing. Now what we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find the first quantity, that is the blade angles at the inlet and blade angles at the outlet, that is beta 1 and beta 2. Then specific work done, that is W by M. Then C, it is degree of reaction. Fine. Now let us draw the velocity triangle first. So before I go and draw the velocity triangle, so let me draw the what we call actually, we have the hub, we have the inlet, that is tip actually, then we have the up. Okay. About this, let's draw the velocity triangle. So I'm going to use my blade profile, something like this. So this being the turbine, so you have the leading edge here and trailing edge here. Okay, so if I try to make it work a little bit, so my blade is something like this. Okay, this is your blade. This is your blade. Fine, leave it. Now let us draw the triangle. See, it's the fluid. You see, always I've been telling you that. See, if this is the thing, your VR should be always in the direction of your. That means it should be attached to it. So, if that is the case, how to draw the velocity triangle? See, this is my VR1. So, you have to draw in such a way that this is your VR1. Fine. So, I'm going to teach you how to draw the triangle. So, then draw a tangent. See, look at this. See, always your u and what is always in the direction of your tangent. So, this if you draw the tangent at any given point, so this is your blade. That is your tangent. What I am trying to draw. Right? This is your tangent. Okay, this is your tangent. So always your u should be in this the same direction of your piston. That means this is my u and your VW component. Fine. So what is this actually? This is your u. So that is your u. Let me write that again. So this is my u component. So that is this being at the inlet, I am going to as u1. Now the flow will enter. See, I'm trying to get a triangle. So this flow, see, if you draw to the scale, you will get it. I'm not drawing to the scale. Just I'm showing you what it is actually. So this will be my V1. Are you getting? Now, where are the other components of my velocity? The other components of velocities, I do have, see, you have the flow component, you have the whirl component. So if I try to draw a vertical to this, so I'll be getting my VF1 and my U1, right? Then I have my VW1 here, but in this direction. Are you getting? So your U is in this direction. That means, see, yeah, this being a turbine, no? The turbine will be, this will be rotating in this direction. So the turbine is always rotated. So I go with sign convention, anti-clockwise for turbine and clockwise for your compressor and pump. Why the sign convention is because, as I told, see, your turbine will be rotating in from higher pressure to lower pressure, and your compressor will be rotating or will be moving in the direction from lower pressure to higher pressure. So that sign convention I to follow the same. So the fluid is flowing like this. So this is my triangle. Actually, this is something X we call. X is nothing but your X is U1 minus VW1. So similarly, what they are telling that the flow is OX, that the exit is without any whirl component. That means that your V2, what I call actually, if I try to take your V2, exactly it's going in this direction, so 90 degrees. So this is your V2, which is also equal to your VF2. Why it is so? Your VW2 is equal to 0. And what is the direction of your U2? See, U2 will be a smaller one because it's at the inner hub actually. So this is the direction of your U2. Okay. Then I can close it with your VR1. Now let us mark the angles. See here we do have alpha 1. Here I do have beta 1. How beta 1 is measured? Actually, this angle is measured with respect to here. So similarly, this is my beta 2. Yeah.
You drew
Hey,
the.
what happened?
So can you just explain once again, sir? Height velocity triangle again.
I'll do that. See, if I draw a tangent here, okay, and try to measure the angle. This will be my beta 1. Beta 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, the velocity triangle of this actually. Once again. See, if this is my hub, this is my tick. Fine. And I do have your profile is something like this. Your bed profile is something like this. And your relative velocity is always in this direction. It will be like this. Fine. And it is rotating in this direction, but it will be in the tangential. It will be always in the tangential direction. So this will be my U1. And then I have to close it with your V1. You got it? So this is how the inlet velocity triangle. Okay, you got it? Yeah. Then you have this V component. V1, I have two components. That is, I have to resolve into two components. So perpendicular, if you draw perpendicular to this will be my VF1 and this will be my VW1. So V1 makes an angle of flow angle alpha 1 and VR makes an with respect to your blade angle, that is beta 1. Now similarly at the exit, what they are given, they are told that flow is going out at alpha is equal to, that is without any whirl component. So with that, actually this will go like this, so that your V2 is equal to Vf2 and the direction of rotation. So this will be always tangent to this. So that means I should be able to draw this in this direction. Very precise. This will be your U2, then close it with your Br2. This is your beta 2. This is perpendicular alpha 2. This is how you are supposed to draw. See, first and foremost thing, what you have to draw is the velocity triangle before you proceed with solving the numericals. Is that clear? If it is clear, I think then I'll proceed. Yeah, fine. I think it looks clear. So once you draw the velocity triangle, let's do the calculations. See, you have the peripheral velocities. So u1 is equal to pi into d1 n by 60. So d1 is 0.5. I can write pi into 0.5 into 1500 divided by 60. So I'll be getting 39.27 meters per second. Okay, 39.27 meters per second. So similarly, what is U2? U2 is equal to pi d2 n by 60, which is pi into 0.15. That is at the inner hub, that is the hub actually. 0.1215 into 1500 by 60. It should be a lower number. So I'm getting around, so from the calculator I'm getting around 11.78 meters per second. Now let us consider the velocity triangle at the inlet. So let us consider the velocity triangle at inlet. Okay. What is cos alpha 1? Cos alpha 1 is equal to your cos alpha 1 is equal to your VW1 divided by V1. Are you getting? So that is your adjacent side by your hypotenuse. So VW1 divided by V1, or your VW1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1. So they are given V1 as 35 into, what is the value of alpha? It is 20. So 35 into cos 20, I am getting around 32.89 or 9 meters per second. That is my VW. So similarly, from the same inlet velocity triangle, what is my sine alpha 1? So what is my sine alpha 1, which is Vf1 by V1, or my Vf1 is equal to V1 sine alpha 1. So that is your 35 into sine 20. So I am getting around 11.97 meters per second. That is my Vf1. And also they are told that in the numerical that Vf1 is equal to Vf2. Vf1 is equal to Vf2. I got my Vw1, which is 32.89, and I got my Vf1, which is 11.97 meters per second. So let us try to find one of that. That is, the first thing is I have to find the blade angle. What are the blade angles? Beta 1 and beta 2. So let's use the equation, that is tan beta 1 is equal to, if you go and see, tan beta 1 is equal to your opposite, that is Vf1 divided by your adjacent, opposite side by adjacent. That is, what is this adjacent? It is x. Okay. So tan beta 1 is equal to your Vf1 divided by x, or I can write Vf1 divided by Vf1 is U1 minus Vw1. Okay. Then what is the value of Vf1? Just now we calculate 11.97. What is the value of Vw1? Just now we calculate 32.89. And what is the value of U1? It is 39.27. Substitute all the things. So tan beta 1 is equal to 11.97 divided by 39.27 minus 32.89, and take beta is equal to tan inverse of this particular thing. I will be getting beta 1 as 61.94 degrees. I got beta 1. Now similarly, consider the velocity triangle at outlet. Consider the velocity triangle at the outlet. What is it actually? So tan beta 2. So if I look at it, tan beta 2. So what is tan beta 2 is equal to your Vf2 divided by your U2. But Vf2 is equal to V2. Fine, Vf2 is equal to V2. That means if you Vf2 is equal to Vf1, 11.97. So Vf1 is 11.97, is equal to 11.2, is also equal to V2, that is 11.97. I can write it's equal to Vf2 divided by your U2. So that is 11.97 divided by 11.78. Take tan inverse of it. Beta 2 is equal to 45.45 degrees. So here your V2 is equal to Vf1 is equal to Vf2, which is 11.97 meters per second. This is the thing what we are considering. So we got the what is called as the first thing which we are supposed to calculate, which was the beta angles. So blade angles. This is how you have to do. We very simple. Use the velocity triangles, apply trigonometric principles. First thing is you have to draw the velocity triangle. Then apply trigonometric principles, and usually you can calculate. Okay. Specific work. So what is the specific work actually? That is W by m dot is equal to Vw1 into U1 minus Vw2 into U2. So in this problem they are clearly given Vw2 is equal to 0 and left with only Vw1 into U1. So this will be Vw1 into U1, or what is my Vw1? It is 32.87 into 39.27, which is my U1, and if I try to calculate, I am getting around 1291.26 joules per kg, or I can write 1.21 kilojoules per kg, W by m dot. Okay. The third quantity, which is degree of reaction, which is R. So what is it actually? Degree of reaction, R is equal to, already we have this formula, that is your work done, W minus V1 square minus V2 square divided by the kinetic energy, whole thing divided by W. What it is actually? See, or I can use this formula also. So, or I can write U1 square minus U2 square by 2 plus VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2 divided by W. What is this actually? This is your static, this is your total. Fine. Either you can use this formula. See, what is it actually equal? What I'm trying to do? If here I'm saying to take the total work done minus the kinetic energy component. Because here once again, if I want to do, I have to calculate VR1 and VR2. Either you can calculate VR1 and VR2 or use the existing one. So don't waste your time. Simply I know the W value is 35 square, that is V1 square, and V2 is equal to VF2, VF1 and VF2. So it is 11.97 square divided by 2, whole thing divided by 1291.26. So that is my R is equal to 0.58 something, 58 you are getting. So this is the number less than 1. So the degree